Hi. I'm going to go through a quick sequence today for shoulder stiffness. This is also going to help any stiffness in the neck as well as the mid-back, because we spend so much of our time in the forward bending world where we're on our phones, we're on our computers, we're reaching forward for things, we're picking up our kids, all of that stuff. And we want to start to open things back up. So we're going to do some shoulder warm-ups to begin, and we'll go through a few poses, and hopefully by the end you will feel a little bit better. So a lot of the warm-ups that I'm going to have you do are going to be with forceful exhalations. And you do this through the nose. In yoga, most everything is through the nose. And if at any point you start to feel a little bit dizzy, you can return to normal breath. The first thing that we're going to do is called tiger's claw. You're going to make some claws with your hands, bring them up over your head, crossing the wrists here, and then with a forceful exhalation, you're going to pull them down as if you're trying to shred something above you. And then every time you come back up, you're going to switch which hand is in the front. Okay? So it's going to sound like this. And then as you start to warm up a little bit more, you can start to increase the speed. Don't feel like you have to keep up with me. Go at your own pace. Get used to the breath with the movement. And we're going to go from there. Okay? So arms come up. Make those big claws. Take a deep breath in. Keep going. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Feel the shoulders start to warm up. A few more. Okay, and relax for a moment. So, as you can see, I'm seated in a comfortable position. I meant to mention this beforehand. If this is not comfortable for you, because we're going to be here for probably about another 5 minutes, go ahead and grab something to sit on. You can sit on a folded blanket or a bolster or anything else that you might have, yoga blocks maybe, and that'll decrease the stress on the hips. Okay? I'll give you just a moment if you're going to grab something. And then we're going to move right into the next exercise. So we start with the hands on the shoulders. Elbows are directly out from the shoulders if possible. And then as we exhale, we're going to use that forceful exhalation again. We're going to bring the backs of our wrists or our pinky fingers together behind us, drawing the hands down the back slightly and the elbows up to the ceiling. As we inhale, we're going to bring the hands back to neutral. Okay? So take a deep breath in to begin. Couple more. Keep the hands on the shoulders, but we're stopping our exercise. And we're going to bring our elbows up, forward, down, and back, making big circles with the elbows, bringing some more movement into the shoulder joint. Your shoulders are probably pretty tired right now, so this may feel a little sluggish. That's okay. And go ahead and reverse directions. and relax. We're going to do one more kind of vigorous warm-up for the shoulders. You're going to link your hands together. I don't really care which one is in front, whatever is more comfortable for you. But the hands are going to be together right around the center of your chest, right at the heart center. And those hands are going to stay there. As you inhale, we're lifting the left side up, right side comes down, and then opposite on the exhale. Whichever way I said that, inhale, exhale, right? So this is tricky to keep them here. And what you're going to do is have just a slight amount of tension here. That's going to keep these shoulder muscles activated. This is going to tire you out. So if you have to take any breaks, please do so, right? So take a deep breath to begin. Really push through. A few more. And relax. Go ahead and rest your arms. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze the shoulders behind you and relax them down. Release the chin down to the chest. As you inhale, start creating circles with the neck, slowly rolling past one shoulder and back, and past the other shoulder and forward. Inhaling as you go back. Exhaling as you roll forward. Taking your time if there's any kinks or stiffness areas. And switch directions. Next time your chin comes down to your chest, stay there. Interlace the hands and place the hands on the back of the head. Allow the arms to grow heavy and stretch the back of the neck. Release the hands. Return the head to neutral. Sit on the back of the right hand so that the palm is pressing down into your mat or the ground, wherever you're practicing today. Bring the left ear over to the left shoulder and bring the left arm up and wrap it around the head, resting the arm or hand gently on the side of the head, the ear, the jaw, wherever it rests naturally. And pull the head over to the left as you press into the ground with your right hand, feeling the stretch go through the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck. And release. Switching sides. Sit on the back of the left hand. Palm pressing down. Right ear to right shoulder and right arm wraps around the head. Pulling down towards the right. Pressing into the ground with the left hand. Stretching the side of the neck. Top of the shoulder stretches too. And release. Bring your hands back to neutral. Inhale as you look over the left shoulder. Exhale as you look over the right. Inhale back to left. And exhale to right. Come back to center. And we're going to transition into tabletop. So you can do this by rolling over crossed ankles or swing the legs out to the side. Knees go right below the hips. Hands right below the shoulders. And just for wrist health, you want to make sure that your pointer fingers are pointing forward. The rest of your fingers are wide spread apart. Inhale as you look up, let the belly dip down for cow pose. And exhale as you tuck the chin and tailbone in, pulling the shoulder blades apart for cat. Inhale back to cow. Exhale to cat. Continue on your own breath for a few more rounds. And then return to neutral. This next one is going to be a pretty good stretch for your shoulders, and you can do this like we're going to do it here on the mat. You can also do it on the wall, which I'll explain to you. So you're going to keep your hips right over the knees and walk the hands forward for puppy pose. Now as the hands come forward, the forehead comes down to the mat, encouraging the chest further and further down until you can bring the chin to the mat, eventually bringing the chin and the chest to the mat. Really opening the upper back, opening the shoulders, breathing, encouraging the chest a little further down. And slowly come up, walk the hands back under the shoulders. So if you're doing this on the wall, it's called a wall hang. You stand a little bit away from the wall, you put your hands out, and then you just drop your body down through. And that is another good way to stretch that out if maybe you're not so great with your knees on the mat, or if you need any other modifications. It's a really nice one you can do while you're just walking around the house too. So we're back in tabletop. And just so we're a little evenly balanced, we're going to do a little bit of a hip stretch so that we're not super tight when we go into down dog. So bring the hips back towards the heels, bring them over to one side, and forward, other side, and back. And continue those hip circles a few times in that direction, working through the tightness in the sides. And then switch directions. And come back to a neutral tabletop. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and press back with the hips to downward facing dog. I'm going to scoot myself forward a little bit so I can make sure you guys can see me okay. In down dog, yours might look a little bit more like this. You want to keep the upper body as straight as you can. As your hamstrings get more flexible, the heels will come closer to the ground, the legs will become straighter. But if you find yourself up like so because you're trying to compensate for some tight hamstrings, I want you to bend the knees and shift the shoulders a little straighter, pressing the body through. On your next inhale, look between the hands and walk the feet up to the top of your mat. Keeping the knees slightly bent, let the body hang down for standing forward folds. Take hold of opposite elbows and gently sway the body from side to side. Using ragdoll to release some of the tension in the hamstrings and release some of the tension in the back. Release the arms. Inhale to stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then you're going to bring the hands behind the hips, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pulling the hands away from the body, hinge from the hips as you come forward into standing forward fold again, and allow the weight of your arms to do some of the work here. So if you're really tight, you might only be an inch or so out from your hips, and that's okay. As the flexibility increases, you'll be able to come further and further back And the weight of the arms are actually going to help you into this stretch. Release the arms all the way down. Bend the knees slightly. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale. We are getting rained on, so I'm going to close this for today. I hope some of this helps to loosen some of that up for you. Talk to you next time. Namaste.